Hi everybody, welcome back to my office. I'm actually getting a camera in any day now, and I hope that allows me to be more mobile so that we can take our talks to other awesome places. But anyways, today I want to share with you some basic health principles. And I'm going to rush through these a little bit because I have a tendency to just want to dive in depth about each one, but I really think that each one deserves their own video or topic. So as I'm going through this, if there's certain topics that you're more interested in, let me know in the comments below and I'll try to get to the ones you guys are most interested in first. So before I get through the 5 simple health categories today, I want to talk about bringing in the idea or principle of minimalism to this. If you guys are new to the channel or you've been here for a little bit, you might already know that I love the practice of minimalism, which is the simple task of asking yourself, does this add value to my life? Does this thought add value to my life? Does this relationship add value to my life? If the answer is no, then it's really simple. Let it go. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about these categories or areas of simple health. I want to bring in an acronym that somebody taught me because it's really easy to remember, but at the same time, I would tweak a couple of the words in the acronym. So the acronym is DRESS, D-R-E-S-S. We're going to go through each of the letters and I'll let you know which ones I want to tweak. But for now, these are the 5 basic categories or areas of health that you want to make sure are really balanced, that you are aware and in alignment with in order to have balanced health and experience in life, as well as doing things like resetting metabolism and hormonal levels. Okay, are you ready? Number 1, D is 4-letter word, diet. Good job. Okay, diet is huge. We all know this. Super, super huge. What you eat is what's going to power your body, and you're either going to power it with really awesome stuff or you're going to clog it down. This is plain and simple. Think about a car. Each car has a specific type of fuel. Some need premium, some need unleaded. What happens to a premium car like a Ferrari if you put unleaded fuel in it? What happens if you put water in it? What happens if you put high C or Coca-Cola in your car? It's not going to run. Unless you biomechanically change the elements of a car to be able to receive energy that way, it's not going to run. Your body is the same way. You need to have a good diet, and it's really not as complicated as we make it. We all know what's healthier, an apple or an apple pie. It's really simple. But in order to maintain all of our flavor addictions and food lifestyles that we're used to, we make it all the more complex than it really needs to be. Number 2 is R, rest and relaxation. We are going to be talking about sleep later. So I want to make it very clear that in the rest and relaxation category, we are talking about rest and relaxation during our conscious and awake time. We feel like we're these like machines that can keep going. Like we could deprive ourselves of rest and relaxation for the whole year and only take 1 month off all year, like during Christmas, during, the summer, whatever it is that we do. And even with sleep, we tend to have this thought that we could deprive ourselves from sleep all week and try to catch up on the weekend. And unfortunately, our bodies just don't work that way. It's going to catch up with you, and it does, which is why most people, as they get older and older, have a harder time with their hormonal levels and their metabolism. So make sure you're taking conscious time to reset, refocus, recenter. Find your breathing, do something fun, enjoy life while you're awake, and you're going to find that that's going to be a huge thing. And it is its own topic because it's really important and something that so many of us easily negate. Number 3 is E. What does that stand for? Exercise. And that is something that I would change to activity or movement, because I don't think that exercise in the terminology of fitness and working out, pumping weights, doing repetitions necessarily has to be your go-to. At the end of the day, you really just want to make sure you get some level of mild to vigorous activity on a daily by daily basis. It's super, super important. And I can tell you from my own personal experience, you can get all the rest of these categories perfect. If you miss any one of them, the whole thing gets thrown off balance. And exercise is something that I used to put on the back burner, and I realized that my adrenals weren't resetting completely. I was having a harder time sleeping and doing all kinds of other things like focusing because I wasn't getting enough exercise. So it's super important, or activity, I guess I should say. It's super important that you get it, and you get it for yourself distinctly. I mean, I used to justify, I get a lot of activity in because I do workouts for work, I have kids, I'm running around, I'm outside outside all the time, but you really have to get designated activity for you, whether that's going for a walk, if you're an avid gardener, surfer, dancer, whatever that is, make sure it's something that you enjoy, something that challenges your body, gets your heart rate up, and do this regularly. Daily is ideal. So the next letter is S. We've talked about this earlier, which is sleep. Like I talked about in rest and relaxation, you cannot deprive yourself of sleep and then just catch up. And if you've been doing this for a really long time, getting yourself to sleep is going to be really, really hard. And then once you get there, you're just going to feel more and more tired. Why is this? Because your body's waking up to the realization that it needs more sleep. When you are so sleep deprived, it is hard to get out of that adrenaline cycle where your body is pumping all this adrenaline. But see, if it's having to pump more hormones to keep you awake, what is it doing? It's taxing your adrenal glands. So it's so important to give it the sleep that it needs to cleanse, detoxify, and recharge itself. And if this is something that you're having a hard time with, again, we can go more in depth on this later about how to start resetting your sleep so that you're getting enough sleep. But it's got to be something that you really are committed to doing, because if you've been depriving yourself for a really long time, it takes a minute to get it reset again. The second S in dress is for stress management. And I was calling this thought patterns and perspectives. I like stress management as long as you look at it as not like mental stress, like I'm stressed out, but just that things externally that put pressure or challenge our mind, body, or perspective is a stress. Like when you work out, that's a stress, but it's not like stressing you out. I mean, from some of you, maybe it is, but for most people, they feel really good working out and it's like a positive thing. So stress is not a bad thing. And in fact, studies have shown if you see stress as a positive thing and you can look at it as a challenge or pressure that's going to help make you stronger and build you up, whether it's physically, psychologically, emotionally, it is actually going to do better for you rather than believing that stress is bad for me. Oh, I am so stressed out. I cannot stress out. This is so bad for me. It's so bad for my health. Those kinds of people actually end up on the worser side of disease, illness, all due cause to stress. So believe that stress is a good thing. It doesn't mean go and stress yourself out. You have to have a balance, remember? So if you are putting stress on your body, which we are all experiencing some level of stress on a day-to-day basis, whether it's from our jobs, the toxic chemicals in the air or in our food, being a parent, self-expectations, social obligations. I mean, there's so many different stresses that we go through right now that it is really easy to be overwhelmed with it and then do things to distract ourselves, like watching movies, drinking alcohol, going to events to just like do stuff. Like we live in a society where it's very easy to distract ourselves and not to do the very things that we need to actually unwind from stress. And those things are the last categories that we talked about, which is eat a proper diet, get good exercise, get good rest and relaxation when you're awake, and the TV does not count. I'm sorry, TVs and movies do not count for rest and relaxation. You need present moment awareness during rest and relaxation, and getting good exercise and sleep. So learn how to manage your stress. All things that we can talk about, again, going in the future, is huge. So I think I told you guys, if I haven't, I actually have a sixth element. It is a huge factor to health. And I think that factor is environment. Now, we can't all just change our environment and make it perfect. In fact, if our environment was perfect, we would never grow. Some plants won't grow if there isn't stress, right? Well, here we are talking about stress being good for you. So it's good to have some stressors in your environment. But if you imagine where your mind is right now in simple health, if you're just getting started, you're basically like brand new seeds. So what do you do with new seeds that you're about to plant in your garden? You put them in tiny little boxes. You might put them in a little greenhouse. They might be inside, and you sort of baby them a little bit. And you make their environment really good for them so that they can grow roots that are deep enough and strong enough. And when they grow roots that are deep and strong enough, then you remove them from their pot and you put them into the ground. Most of the time, this is, how you do it if you're sprouting from seeds, unless you live in a perfect environment where you could just stick it outside and not have to worry about hard rain or birds eating your seeds and whatnot. But what I'm trying to say is, when you look at environmental factors around you right now, are they promoting the growth of your health in these areas? If the answer is no, try to change what you can. You might not be able to change it all. For example, you might not be able to force or encourage your partner or your spouse to jump on board the diet thing with you. But one of the things that you can do is simply separate your cabinets. You have a food cabinet, they have theirs, and you only eat from yours and you don't even look or know what they have in theirs. There's certain things like that you can implement, and we can talk about this more, but other things are simply just don't bring the crap food home. If you're like, oh, well, they're for the kids, I just like to sneak some of their candy, don't bring it home for them. You know, if you don't want to eat it, don't feed it to your kids. Be the example, do and be what you would want them to be, right? So it's easier said than done, but do the best that you can to try to promote better environment for these activities. For me, like, sleep was so important, so I would wear earplugs, I would wear a face mask, I would put my essential oil diffuser on, I would like put on brainwave things to help me sleep better, like anything and everything to get me to sleep. At that time, especially when I was having a hard time getting to sleep and sort of resetting my sleep cycle. So anyways, look through all these things and ask yourself, does it add value? And what can you change environmentally to help promote your success in these areas? And then also let me know you like this video by hitting thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please do. Welcome to the family. We talk about minimalism, wellness, self-empowerment. I hope that what you get out of this channel are some really, really dense information to help you start creating a better and more purposeful life for yourself, and as well as feel like this is an open community where there's no judgment and we accept you right where you're at on your journey. So thank you again. Let me know which areas you want to cover first, and I will see you guys in the next video.